I'm gonna give it a little second. Give it a little second. Give everybody a second to kind of go into the live stream. It's kind of on short notice. It's like the thing is like it's kind of short notice. Let's see what happens. 87. Oh man, I got 7 miles. Oh, people. Yeah, if you're in the chat, just leave a message. Just let me know, because I don't want to go off and on 10. Now, this will get set on the playback. If oh damn, what's the link? Ah, screw it. I'll just put it in the chat. All right, give me 1 second. I'll send you a link. Yep, it's in the chat.
A new message has arrived.
Of course it is. But mostly all this stuff is going to be based off of my knowledge, not based off my understanding of the current situation. You know, of basically the continuation of the previous of a podcast on Trent Lab News. You know, oh, there it is. I got one. Welcome, Sigma.
You all right, fella?
Welcome.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm just basically what it is about Naughty Dog and Bioware and their woke narrative that they're trying to push on people.
Who are?
Naughty Dog and Bioware. Well, Bioware attempted that with Mass Effect Andromeda with disastrous results. Nobody wanted to buy the game.
All right. Oh.
Now, I'm going to give it a little more detail. All of the people, the people who were doing the reviews were on a gag order, on a complete gag order. An order of silence to keep their reviews silent.
Really?
But as soon as the game dropped, the internet went off. I remember that because there was negative reviews, and there were people mad about the game. They besmirched the Mass Effect name, you know.
Yeah.
I feel that they
Did you see the video that fucking Pinocchio did about you?
The what?
That Pinocchio did about you.
I really don't care.
No, he's an idiot, man. He's an idiot. He's just gagging for attention.
No, I'm not gonna give to him.
Yeah, good man. I'm glad.
I'm not gonna give to him.
I'm glad.
I mean, I saw it, but I'm not gonna give to attention.
It's not only you. He did one on Sandman. He did one on.
Yeah, he did on a lot of people.
Yeah.
And if they're smart, they're not going to give him attention.
Yeah.
If they're smart. But I want to get back on the whole Naughty Dog and Bioware's attempt at wokeness. And well, but not you heard about the game The Last of Us 2.
Right, I heard vaguely about it. I heard vaguely about it, but I didn't know fully what was going on. I heard a slight bit about it.
They're trying to push a narrative. They're trying to push the same narrative down people's throats. And what's going to happen is, see, Naughty Dog's not as big of a company as, from my understanding, they're one of their greatest games. Or their greatest games are The Last of Us and other supporting games like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, and pretty much other supporting games.
Yeah.
And in case you don't think I didn't play Crash Bandicoot when I was growing up,
I played it. Don't worry, I played it.
Oh, I played Crash Bandicoot. I actually still remember a passcode to this day to unlock a couple levels, and it's circle, square, circle, square, circle, circle, triangle, square. And in case you people still have PlayStation 1.
Wow, that's an old console, isn't it? PlayStation 1. You know, jeez. That's retro now. That's retro. It's classed as retro now. That so same with Sega's and stuff. They're all classed as retro, and they go for a lot of money now.
Yes, but it's. I mean, they tried to they brought Crash Bandicoot back. It was a good game, but it still is. But I'm still hoping they don't try to push some sort of narrative on Crash Bandicoot. See, they've already shacked up The Last of Us. Oh, okay. Baron, welcome, Baron.
Hello. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Good.
I just want to talk about the freaking the Naughty Dog and Bioware's woke BS. Their attempt at wokeness. Now,
I haven't actually played the new game. Please excuse me, but
I
didn't want to play
the new game. I refuse to play the new game. If they're pushing a narrative that down my throat that I don't want, guess what? You're not getting my money. And if I somehow acquire that game and not pay a dime, it's going to be used as a drink coaster. Because that's about all it's good for.
You see, you got to look at it. Who created the game system in the first place? Who were it designed for? Men, originally. And then women infiltrated eventually. Slowly, they became more gamers of women. And then they're pushing the feminist narrative in that, oh, you shouldn't be saying this and you shouldn't be doing that, or you should be putting this in there and you shouldn't be doing this and you should be doing that. That's why I don't play games anymore online.
I got a retro game in my truck. I got a 360.
Yeah, 360 is hella retro. That would be awesome to have a retro.
A working 360 in my truck. It's a retro game. It's doing pretty well, despite all the bumps that I get on the road.
I had a PS3 for like a couple of years, while also because I couldn't play my PS4, so I played PS3, and I really like like Injustice and Bully, and what else did I have? The BioShock. Those games are good.
Yeah, like I said. Now, I know one thing. If I was Nintendo, now, one thing about Nintendo, they were around long before video games, long before the internet, long before color TV, they were around before World War One. They saw the samurai. Yeah, they were around. They saw the samurai. They got collection cards back then. So Nintendo naturally has a buffer. Naturally has a buffer between if they were to ever do something stupid, but they're not going to do something
AAA market.
stupid.
Yeah, they haven't done the same kind of dumb shit that some of the AAA games or AAA industries in America have. Like screw over a bunch of people, promote gambling, sell loot boxes and stuff, close servers, never create like sequel games, even though people have like begged people to make sequels. It's just like weird shiesty stuff.
Yeah, but usually when they make a sequel, they've got their own narrative because something creeps in sooner or later. So they usually screw them up, the sequels.
Yeah, she's like, I want to make another version of the game. It's like, wait, no, it's good the way it is. Why?
Exactly.
It's like, do you now want to make that? Hold on. Karen. Karen.
You can't dumb down the game because you want to expand something. Let me break this to you. The people that you're trying to promote to, trying to push this game to, they're not real gamers. They're not gamers.
Does anybody remember on the Commodore Amiga cannon fodder?
Yeah, they're not gamers, you know? Most of them are going to be arrested.
I'm old school, so I'm talking about floppy disks. You know, you have to have several drives on the Commodore Amiga to play cannon fodder.
Explain the game to me, because I might.
It's a bit like Tiny Troopers, but it's a more basic form. So you're miniature men running around blowing up towers and stuff, but it's kind of like basic. And the predecessor is Tiny Soldiers. That's the predecessor to it.
Oh, okay, nice.
What's that?
Soldiers or miniature soldiers or something? It's called Tiny Soldiers, I think.
Dude, the Commodore. That was a gaming PC.
Commodore
right?
Amiga, yeah, the Commodore Amiga, because they joined together, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well,
was
that considered a personal computer, or was that just like
what about
computer?
the Dragon computer? Remember that?
No, the Dragons.
Yeah, I think it was a Commodore Dragon, I think. And what happened was Amiga and Commodore merged together, and it became Commodore Amiga then.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So Omega was like a whole other gaming thing, and then it got absorbed.
But
so then Nintendo's going to be called like Nintendo Naughty Dog Bioware.
What the hell is that band?
Oh, I don't know. That was like somebody running across the street. That was
like somebody up in their ass smacked.
I know. I was like those flip flops.
Are going to sign their own death warrants, you know?
People be going loud as hell with these flip flops as these sound like the craziest shit. No, because I'm with you. I was like, what is that noise?
I gotta shut down. Get ready to shut down here.
Are you going?
Right. Yeah, because I gotta go too. I was just stopping in to see what
I'm not stopping the live stream. I'm just
okay.
I'm just backing in.
Right. Okay. So
I'm good, man. How you doing, Sigma? How's it going?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Yeah. There's been a lot going on in Manosphere. I mean, I posted a really good video about the difference between Red Pill and MGTOW, right? Now,
really?
There is a massive difference. A MGTOW wouldn't even entertain going meeting someone or giving a girl an inch of space or anything. You know, he just looked to walk away and say, screw you, whatever, bye-bye. A Red Pill. Well, I did a video just before, can you be MGTOW and have a sex bot? Now, when you look at manipulation, these guys are selling you a sex bot and manipulating your biology tied. So really, they're manipulating guys. These are called sex bots. They're manipulating guys' biology, which is a form of keeping you at Red Pill instead of MGTOW walking away. That's why they make it, and it's all to depopulate the Earth. If you look at the video, you'll see they even admit it's to depopulate the Earth. It's when the population control.
The way I see it,
I think Tico mentioned something that too. Tico said something about that too, and it made me think. Like that's
well, just look at the video and you see because they mentioned it in the video that I just did.
Exactly. It's going to backfire, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, why? I mean, it's not really. It's being Red Pill if you're going to buy your doll because you still have to pay somebody to get your rocks off.
Well, it's gonna backfire. It like the Wizards notice that if they depopulate the Earth, it's going to backfire. Now I'm gonna tell you why it's gonna backfire. Because after a lot of people have taken the red pill and have seen female nature, do you honestly think that they're gonna want to freaking mate with these people again?
Well, at the end of the day, this is what going MGTOW is, isn't it? It's separating you from all the bullshit manipulation from the system, from anyone that will take advantage of you. And it's about self-esteem. It's about relying on yourself and controlling your own biology. So I saw it for what it was. I saw it as manipulation of men's biology to keep them money coming out of pockets and making these beta guys. When you look at the video, these beta guys, they look well beta, man. Seriously, they look weird as well. And they even had a lesbian helping them, a lesbian who's a feminist, knowing full well that she understands what it's like to be a woman. So she's got an art degree who were doing it. And I saw it for what it was. They were just using men and women to manipulate money out of them to control the birth situation. And that's what Bill Gates said, 500 million, 1%, that's what he wants it down to. And that's what the United Nations have agreed to.
Well, it worked. It worked like a charm.
Well, yeah, of course it is. It's all about controlling to the main game. It's all the governments, really. The governments are the ones that are holding all the cards and all the blame, really. They're the ones that have to be held accountable.
Yeah, it worked like a charm.
Yeah.
It worked. In fact, it worked better than a charm. And that's why the thing is, it's going to backfire because who's going to be fixing the machinery? The elites aren't going to get their hands dirty.
They think sex and trafficking of sex workers and prostitution is all kind of manipulated and regulated in some form or another to make sure that the population splits up eventually. It's all designed. It's all designed.
Well, it's a damn good design.
It is. That's why they're called the elite. That's why they're called the cabal.
Shit. It's working like a goddamn charm, too.
I mean, you've not heard about Epstein, that girl who was with Epstein, who's just been arrested. She was a Jehovah's Witness. She was sex trafficking kids from Haiti all the way over for him, right? And for Prince Andrew and for Prince Charles and for all these deep states, Obama and all the rest of it. And they were trying to get this certain drug out of these kids and that. You want to look up Pizzagate, you'll see what I mean when you watch it. And seriously, man, they just caught her. And when Epstein died, they kind of like suppressed everything that was going on, but now she's been arrested. They reopened the case again, and shit's hitting the fan. The economy collapsed last year in September, right? Trump is trying to fucking impeach all these fucking elites. Impeach them all.
Hey,
I don't see how the landscape's gonna change when you like impeach them too. Like that's what I'm like wondering about. It's like, what's it gonna be like? Because no one's gonna know that the bad people are gone, but they're gonna be gone.
There'll be public trials. They said there'll be public trials because they need people to understand it's not just about crimes against humans. It's crimes against like treason, because they tried to cover up and tried to swindle the people. 9/11 were a part of it as well. They're trying to bring all that into it as well regarding the Bushes. Bush Jr.
Like the Patriot Act?
Oh no, that's why they tried to get rid of the amendment, so therefore they couldn't prosecute this guy. That's why Guantanamo Bay has been redone up, and you get these ships with these big tankers on, and the elite are in them. Some of the elite are in them. And some of them have been tried privately, some of them have been tried publicly, but it's going to be done military-wise, apparently. I've got a document. I'm going to post up. I'm going to show you guys. There's a document I've got, and it says the 15th of June is when they're all being impeached. But it's only a few days after, and I've still got that document, so I might post it now it's happening.
Dude, they should make a video game about that. Like Call of Duty Elites.
Yeah,
that's all you do is you go in to their bunker and you just shoot all of them.
Well, America's demanded the Queen just recently, last few days, to say that Andrew has to cooperate because he was linked to Epstein, right? And they came back and said, sorry, he's already cooperated. What do you think he did before? And they said, no, he either cooperates or we subpoena him. And there's only one person they can't subpoena or charge for anything, and that's the Queen. She can never be charged for any crime whatsoever, even if she commits murder. But Andrew and Charles and the rest are a different matter because they're not heads of state, they're just part of the royal family.
So because they're ahead of the state,
No, because the Queen Mother is head of state, she can't be charged. She's exempt. Everybody else isn't in the royal family.
Right.
They're exempt.
Oh, okay. Got it. Man, that's there it goes to show you there's been double standards.
This is what
I
me
was
and
talking about like
trying to do. We're trying to show you guys how it all links in, and how it's the governments are responsible really for what's going on. Women are being used too, but they understand it's to their benefit. Why do you think they don't say nothing? Because it's to their benefit at the moment. But when that narrative changes and the shit goes to the wind, all they'll soon change their fucking minds then, and then it'll be a fucking government against public. Seriously.
Yeah. Best thing to do be to, when that happens, to have some preparations in place.
Well, that's what we're going to be discussing tomorrow on the live stream about prepping and about if you've got no money, even if you've got only a little bit of money, prep, get a 55-litre rucksack, get a survival kit, which is about $38 off Amazon. Get some survival food. That's going to be the most expensive because they've got like a 5-year to 25-year shelf life. Get in a flint and a stone, and all the rest of it. It's all about prepping just in case you can just grab that fucking bag when the time's right and fuck off quick. Because I won't want to be in a fucking city when it kicks off. Fuck that. No way.
Hey, gents, looking private chat. Yes or no?
No. Who's that though?
Only in private chat. Yes or no?
Yeah, it's in private, but you haven't put the person's name in private. I'm in private now, and you've not put the person's name, so I don't know who you're talking about.
Who are you trying to let in?
That's what I want to know. No, don't let her in. No.
Is this a vote? Is it like a?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of too late now.
Shit, because I gotta go. Yeah, I have to.
It's in private,
I
though.
kind of have to work.
Yeah, but you've only put it in the private chat, so the person doesn't know, do they?
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, but the thing is,
risk it for a biscuit.
Yeah, exactly right.
I mean, I kind of already shacked that one up, I mean, anybody could get in.
Is she a gamer?
Yeah,
I don't know.
You can still block them when they're coming in behind in the back.
I'm not blocking nobody. I don't block anybody.
Right. Okay.
I don't do that.
I'm not saying nothing.
Hey, you don't have the security software, so I would just be careful.
I know.
So it's up to you. It's up to you.
Yeah, but don't forget,
besides, if anything, I'll just put tape over my camera. But I mean, the Queen. I mean, I wasn't aware that the Queen was untouchable.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. Hey, man, you don't know that about the Queen. What really's going on? Do you know how much land she's got around the fucking world? Fuck. Hey, and that's not even on the books, all that land around the world. Why do you think it's called the Commonwealth? She's let some of it go, but they still have to pay homage, kind of like back in Roman times, give so much taxes back.
They do? Oh, they have to pay tax. So there's
Australia has to pay a tax.
really? They declare their independence. So what does that mean? That doesn't mean
no, they're not
financially
independent. Why do you think they still have the Queen on the coins? On
So
the money.
so because
Uh-huh.
so how long have we been paying as taxes to the Queen?
You haven't because you won your independence. Fully.
So
Australia,
pretty soon we're going to be under British occupation soon, right?
No, but when
Again.
you had your civil war, that's when you brought your independence fully. So therefore, you weren't part of the Commonwealth anymore. So therefore, you didn't have to pay homage or money.
Wait, what actually changed though? Like nothing really changed after the Civil War.
Well,
Because he started
It
making
was
our
after. I think it was either after World War One or two, or during World War One and two or two.
no, 1700s when you won the Civil War. That's when you broke.
I know what I'm saying. Like when we had to pay homage.
I'm American. I should know my own history, right?
No, what I'm
All right,
saying
guys.
was
Guys, I gotta bounce. I gotta bounce.
and
And
like
do you know what it rolled over? You guys left it. Why you left Britain? Do you want me to tell you when it rolled over? Tea, right? Queen Victoria started fucking taxing tea too much, and she sent these boats over. And when they came in and docked in, when they said how much they wanted back, they said, "Go and screw you." So what they did is they took over the boats, drove them out to sea, and tipped all the tea into the sea. That's why they called it, black gold. Back then, because it was that expensive, and she got that pissed off, she sent an army over. And because the Americans was ex-British, ex-Irish, ex-Scottish, they understood how the British were the formations that how the army were and how they worked, and how they, and they on the battlefield how they worked themselves, and that's how you guys conquered us, because you understood already how we formatted and in an army and stuff, you know what I mean? So you just guys used it to your advantage.
we use hit and run tactics.
Well, you think about it. It's like that's what the Romans did. If you conquer a new city, right, or a new culture, the culture doesn't know your tactics. Now you imagine the Americans were used to be British, Irish, and Scottish. They're already going to know the tactics because they've come from there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they know the tactics, so they're going to know how to get around them.
Right. Right. It's like if we were to have to go to another civil war, it would be even more bloodier because we know that the citizens know the tactics.
This is why Iraq. Do you know when America went to Iraq? Right. They're dumb Americans are. They trained them in their ways. I'm thinking you do know that you're teaching your ways, so therefore they're going to get around it eventually.
You know the funny thing about it, in the Korean, the Vietnam War, punji sticks.
Yeah,
they knew how to win against us.
Yep. Hit and run, living under the ground.
Yeah. Right. Hit and run. They knew how to win against us.
You see what they did? Playing out of sight. They were playing out of sight, but they could strike at any time.
Right. They weren't going to fight face to face. They were going to wear us out emotionally. They were going to get us. Their goal was to get us as angry as possible.
Yeah, I mean, even when you're looking back in history, you'll see that most of the Germanics and most of the Celts, when the Romans started expanding, they would do hit and run tactics at first. Right. And when they walked through the forest, it'd be hit and run because they couldn't form up into cubes then. The Romans couldn't form into cubes.
They couldn't form up into the traditional legion formations, their phalanx.
Yeah, because they like fighting in the open, not in the forest, because they only can be in 2 and 3s in lines, you see. So that's harder to defend, and that's why they lost. That's why most all these European wars that have happened ended up from one Roman actual battle that they lost. When the Romans said, "Oh, give me my legions back," it was him. Give me my 9th legion back, or something like that, or my legions back. That actual particular war he was talking about them. That's what set off all the European wars.
Wow.
So, yeah, it blew me a fucking way when I did the research. I thought, fucking wow, that one war.
That one war.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally lit up the whole European world.
Yeah.
For centuries.
Yeah, for centuries. Yeah. I'll send you a link if you want. I've still got it. I've got it saved on a video. I'll send you a link, Mike. It'll blow your fucking way, man. It's like, wow, that's mad. See what I'm saying? People, that's what I'm saying. There's more to MGTOW. There's more to MGTOW than just about girls. You know what I'm saying? Once you've learned it, you go past that. Then eventually, I'll still do a little bit of girls now and again in my MGTOW, but mostly it'll be trying to tell people really, really.
And that's why I kind of branched into video games. You know, like I'm kind of going back to my roots, to what my channel was about in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because my channel was originally gonna be me playing video games, you know, me live streaming video games that I like, you know, or live streaming video games, reacting to certain video games, you know. That's what my original channel, this channel was supposed to be about.
Yeah.
It was gonna. I mean, this history is a nice turnaround. But what do you like? Say, what do you think from your angle is your predictions on the video game industry in general?
It's just like I view it same as Disney. When I watched a video recently about Disney, right? And when they slow the video down, when you slow it right down, you'll see subliminal messages just flash of someone naked with a penis hanging out, or really weird stuff that you'll see in these Disney things. And I think they can do the same in games without you even knowing. I mean, imagine if you're on a VR and you're doing virtual reality game, you know, live. There could be subliminal messages flashing without you knowing. They don't test a split second of that flash, and it's still in there. You know what I'm saying?
I typically stick to my old games, the old games, you know.
So you don't do VR and stuff?
No, I don't mess with that. That's something that I know nothing about. I've never even seen a VR system.
Right, watch. There's a film, right, called what's it called now? It's a film that they made recently about a VR lad who goes into VR, a virtual reality, and he makes his own character in it. I forgot what it's called now. Ready Player One. That's it. Ready Player One. That's how real it's gonna get. Seriously, man. The advancements of fucking technology so fast now that apparently the VRs are not even the big bulky things now. They're just like normal glasses now. I've seen, what's it called? Huawei is just bringing a new one out. The first one was like a designer kind of like promo to see how people accepted it. And it was just like the first ones on Huawei, they're just literally like glasses, like really cool glasses, but they seal around your eyes. Really weird, man. Then you get Samsung, which are the bulky ones, you know, but it's the quality of the games. It's the quality of the games that immerse you. Wow, seriously.
For me, I think Nintendo's gonna get if the way I see it, the Japanese game market's gonna blow up. It's gonna expand, you know. But at the same time, they're not going to have enough people to man it, to maintain it. So they're going to have to do things more efficiently with machinery. But the American game market, like the American companies like Bioware Naughty Dog, they're trying to force a narrative blatantly.
What's that narrative, may I ask? What's that narrative?
If you played The Last of Us 2.
Are you talking about like subliminal messages or in?
No. Or this stuff is blatant. No, not on VR. This stuff is blatant in your face, shoved down your throat.
What
like
avatar?
Waterboarded, like literally waterboarded. You know what waterboarding is?
Vaguely.
What you do with waterboarding is you take a rag and you put over a person's face and you pour water on the rag on the person's face to simulate them drowning.
Yeah, waterboarding. Yeah.
Basically, it's that thing. It's not even subliminal. It's in your face. In your face, you're going to accept this, and literally, we've dumbed down the game for you, and we're basically The Last of Us 1. I've played The Last of Us 1. The easy mode, the novice mode, would be Mass Effect 2's insane mode. Let me break this to you. You would have to be trying to die. We'll be trying to die in Last of Us 2, and still not even finish the job on hard mode.
Right.
You would literally have to be trying to die.
Yeah. Like so,
It's
like
that bad.
Kamikaze kind of style.
Now, the thing is, the way I see it, with them doing that, it's going to shrink down the profit of Naughty Dog. It's going to literally shrink them down and lower their stocks. And if Nintendo, the way I see it, if international video game companies or Nintendo in general, because Nintendo's been around and have made a crap ton of money for centuries.
Yeah.
If they're smart, they would buy out either Naughty Dog or Bioware first to get a better foothold. Let me tell you a little bit about the culture of the Japanese people. They don't care. They really don't. Their citizens are their citizens, but they know what their citizens like, and they will, like I said, they will if they're smart. They would buy out Naughty Dog and freaking Bioware and have a website where they can purchase the games from Japan.
Yeah, but they're not just going to sell it, so it'd have to be a nostalgia takeover then, wouldn't it?
Yep. It's probably first off, all they have to do is wait for Naughty Dog and Bioware to be on their knees.
Yeah.
It's a waiting game. It's at this point, it's a waiting game that Nintendo altogether will win.
Yeah, and the only way you're going to get round to that winning game is finding out what the people really want.
Right. Now, Naughty Dog screwed up by pushing this character, joke character, whatchamacallit, this Bruce Jenner character on the game.
Right.
People play video games to escape reality.
Yeah.
The people that they're pushing it towards are not your mass audience. It's just that simple. They are not your mass audience. Your mass audience are not people that think like that. They are people that think.
Right. So if you were in charge, right, I'm going to ask you a question, right? If you're in charge, this is what I was going to say about helping you open your mind. If you're in charge, what would you say the mass audience is and what they would want? Because this is coming from, obviously, you're a gamer, so obviously you value that company as, good quality merchandise, good quality play, good quality sound, everything, right? And you're willing to pay for it, but they're not really listening, are they? They're not really listening.
They're not.
So you're upset. So to me, what would you say that the mass populace who it's supposed to be targeted to, and is not being targeted to, and how would you get round it to make sure it got back to what it was?
How would I fix it? Well, let's see. If I were to buy out these things, first things foremost, I would fire all the staff. I would fire everybody and import my own people.
Yeah.
I would fire everybody. men, women, whatever, I would fire them. Point blank, you're fired.
Right.
Go find another.
Would you not go through the employers' resumes and what they've achieved and what they haven't achieved, who's been faithful and who hasn't been faithful, who seems to
Well, first off, there's if they're getting this bad, then the people they have are trash anyway. I would go back to the people that quit.
Yeah.
To the people that quit and try and offer them their place. In their place. I would try to find I would track down all the people that quit and ask them if they want to come back. I know I'm not going to get as many back as it started.
Come back.
But I would get enough of the sound-minded developers to work with my team.
Yeah.
To catch them up to speed, because many of the sound-minded developers, some of them are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and above. I would try to get some of them back, as many of them back as I possibly can. After firing the previous team.
Yeah.
Because I am not, like I said, I will not have somebody, no. And I would have my headquarters outside of the country.
Right.
So they can't do nothing.
What ideas would you put forth to rectify it?
I would take the games that caused this mess. I would put them in the archive as a reminder of what happens when you don't listen to your fans. And I would basically, the games that I could save, first off, I would, if like, look for instance, I would look at all the sequels that were successful. Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 1 was the most successful.
Yeah.
I would do away with Andromeda altogether. I would not be an Andromeda. There would be no more of an Andromeda. Andromeda is in the archives of failures.
Right. Now, what's the reason for Andromeda? What's the reason? Is a certain?
It was just like Mass Effect 2. It was a remake of Mass Effect 2, and people don't want to play a renamed remake.
Yeah, a rehash. Yeah.
A rehatch. Now, I would re-release Mass Effect 1 through 3, and I would make sure Mass Effect 4 continues on where Mass Effect 3 left off. That's why the Halo series is so popular. They've always continued off where they left off. Where one story left off, the next story would pick up and continue on and give you more options to do. That's the thing about Mass Effect 1. You had all these options. You had all these conversations. You had conversations that could make you had ways to open up dialogue with conversations.
You see,
Mass Effect 2 is the same way.
Most companies don't realize that the people who they're pitching to is the ones who should be getting ideas from.
Right.
If they give them an idea, they get their name as a credit in their the credit roll. You know what I mean? They get their name in there as a credit to them because they came up with the idea, and probably 10% of the proceeds. That's when I would play it. I'd say, look, here's 10% of the proceeds. You came up with the idea. You'll get your name in the list. At the end when the credits go up, and at the end of the day, thanks for your idea. Right? Anybody else with an idea? You know what I mean? It's all there to make money, isn't it?
Right. It's like it's that would be logical. That would be highly logical. But we live in a world where logic and reason are trumped, are overshadowed by feelings.
Exactly.
Logic and reason are overshadowed by feelings. When logic and reason are overshadowed by feelings, the people that follow the logic and reasoning are forced to shut up, are forced to be quiet. Now, there are more than enough people who follow logic and reasoning to stand up and say we're not taking this anymore.
Uh-huh.
But guess what? The people who don't follow logic and reasoning are in the government. The ones who follow feelings are in the government, are in the upper echelon of the government.
Yeah, all boils back to the government anyway. Everything.
I mean, yeah, it all boils back to the government. Right, right.
All a game. Everything's a game. Taxes are a game. When you're born, and they use your name as a game, so they can use you later on for tax purposes. Everything. When you die, you capture on your funeral. That's a game.
When I die, I'm going to die childless and single, and it's going to be, and it's fine with me. It's fine with me.
I've got a son of my own, right? There is positives to having a son. He's 18 now. So, but I found out MGTOW. This is what I'm saying. A lot of people find questions. Well, can you be MGTOW and have children? Well, I found out MGTOW after he left home, right? So yes, you can. You can be MGTOW because you can learn MGTOW after the person's grown up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So people, it's about choices. You know, I knew something were right with women, but at the end of the day, I weren't fully awake, if you know what I mean. I was like in a limbo until I woke up, and that were after he left home. So people got to rationalize what the question is. What are people really asking? Are they asking for permission, or is it a genuine question? That's why I put the thing about the bots. It's still manipulation because you have to pay for it. So you're not really controlling biology, really, because you're letting something else manipulate you for that money.
Basically, it is. I mean, you're trading one pair of shackles for another.
Right, there's one thing, making rings and tops and caps, that's one thing. But making bots that cost thousands and thousands of dollars and knowing full well that these guys are using lesbians, and I just watched the video, man, you'll be well amazed. That, you know, using their own simp mythology and their mistakes, and these bots are answering back to you. Well, did you not learn from women? Why are you putting that into robots about answering back to you? Do you not think AI is going to get a bit smarter?
The difference is you can program it.
Yeah, but when it starts walking, it's connected to AI. People have been warning about AI. Seriously. AI, yeah. And once AI becomes smart, who knows what them robots will be capable of then?
Oh well. That's the way I feel. If it becomes smart and it wants, I don't care anymore. I don't care. I look forward to it.
I'm just saying the similarities about people don't realize about when people ask certain questions. They don't rationalize it. They don't think it through. That's why almost the time I had plenty of time to think about all these questions proper deeply, because then I'm thinking, well, I'm not distracted. I don't have a woman here nagging me. I don't go out and meet a girl. I don't meet up with any girl for any proving something, points, this, that, and the other. I'm just there studying and learning and prepping and, you know, making sure that I'm because I'm a proper true staunch MGTOW for me. And, you know, it's just me now. That's it. Me and only me. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to be looking after me when I hit the grave, because everyone, when they hit the grave, are going to end up in the grave on their own. You know what I mean? They can't take anything with them. So what's the fucking point? It's about what you make. It's about your character. It's about actually proving to people, look, this is true. This is true. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. That's why God's give you a brain. Use it.
All right. I'm going to quote a line from a movie.
Yeah, go on.
A person, a human being, one person is smart. A group of human beings are dumb, panicky, and prone to poor decision making. Now, I probably butchered that line. I'm good. Like I said, we're only human beings. Now, one thing that is hard to control that I struggle with is my own biology.
How old are you? How old are you? And I don't mean that in just trying to think, oh, you're younger than me. I mean, how old are you?
I'm 32.
Right, I'm 46, right? I just made up 46 a few days ago, right?
Right.
So when I was your age, right, I started to become mature. I started thinking a little bit more differently, because in your 20s, and it's true, in your 20s, you'll understand that you think differently now than what you did in your 20s.
I know.
So when you get to your 40s, it's even more different. Then you start realizing, hang on, all this time I fucking wasted doing this, that, the other, when I could be doing this, that, and the other. When
Right.
you be happy, man. Be happy you ain't got any kids. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't think that you should
Oh,
or sin to do it.
I'm not.
Because at the end of the day, man, I think you're fucking lucky as hell. You know what I mean? Lucky as hell. Not even to have any kids or any problems. Now, it is going to be a big thing in your mind always. I know that. And I know I can understand what you're saying, right? It's going to be on your mind about, well, I mean, how big is your family? Have you got brothers and sisters?
I have one brother.
Right.
I have a younger sister. Like, he's older than me. He's married. Stupid.
Right. Right. Now, your brother, does he have any male hairs?
Any what?
Male boys, you know, sons.
Yeah, I have. Ooh, wow, I have 1, 2, 3. About 2 or 3 nephews. About 2 or 3 nephews that are not that are actually blood relatives.
No,
and one niece.
Have your last name, so it'd be your brother's, won't it?
Yeah, like
because when they get married, they're going to take on that guy's name, aren't they? So
right.
I'm thinking about your brothers. Do they have any male heirs? You know, sons.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
son.
what you can keep in mind, it's a consolation at least. I know it's not a lot, but at least some of your family are carrying on your family name. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? That's how I see it.
I already think like that.
Yeah,
I already think like that. You know, like I said, I look back at my 20s. That I look back at the same place. I mean, I actually I went to this one place where I would literally jump over a creek bed, and the same creek bed that I would jump over in full battle rattle, I would jump over it and just basically clear it. When I turned 20, when I started my 30, I slowed down and said, you know what? Let me use these rocks here.
Yeah.
And basically the person behind me thought he was going to clear it and ate mud.
A lot of guys don't understand that when you hit your 40s, you start to realize, hang on, when you start to reason it out, because your mind changes, you think, hang on, I'm 40. I've got another 10 years to hit 50. That's half of a century, right? You start reasoning out a bit differently, right? And then you start thinking, well, okay, I'm 40. I've got 50, 60, 70, maybe 75. That's another 35 years work left in me. I've got no ties. I think it's about time for me, really, because at the end of the day, 30 years and I could be in my grave. Fuck that. I'd rather enjoy it while I can. You know what I mean?
And it's like I see no reason why I should settle down. And it's like people have been I mean, the thing is, I have to stay away from people because at my age, they're trying to get me to settle down. They're trying.
Because they find it strange when they see a guy from the outside and they're looking in and they see a guy who is going against the norm. A lot of people are frightened of what they don't understand, right? Because they're scared of what they understand, and it's either attack or because you can't agree, because obviously that person, they're looking at you and they're thinking, this guy's fucking doing the totally opposite of what's expected of him. What's going on? So to them, it's confusing. You know what I mean? For us, it's not. It's logical. It's logical and it's straight in a line. There's a difference between red pill and MGTOW. MGTOW understand fully and think, right, it's not even fucking worth it. It's not even worth it because either way, I have to spend money. Well, why? Why should I have to spend money on things I don't need to? You know what I mean?
Right.
Same with meeting people. Why would I go and risk meeting a woman? I wouldn't. Because I owe it to myself, dignity to myself, not to fucking lower my standards. And this is what confused a lot of people out there regarding someone, particular person doing this. And I keep thinking to myself, look, make any excuse you want. Why would you do that? Stop doing it. Just behave yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's making a shame of others.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about a video that I was going to upload. You know, basically courting, rejection, courting, dating, engagement, marriage, divorce, courting, dating, marriage, or engagement, rinse, lather, repeat. Basically, if a process ends in some sort of separation, in some sort of devastating separation, whether it be emotional or financial or social,
Yeah.
why are you going to continue bashing your head against the wall, against
Exactly.
a big metal wall? And I've seen, I mean, people keep telling me, like, a lot of people don't like when I say this. Like, look, I've seen what happened to my friend over here. I've seen what happened to my friend over here. I've seen what happened to a lot of people that I've served with. I've seen what happened I've seen people blow their freaking head off because the fact that they were getting ready to get separated.
You see, it all boils down to hope, right? People begin a false sense of hope that
Right.
if you put your chips into a woman and you get that fairy tale, that women always keep pushing themselves a fairy tale, you know, my wedding. Why do you think they keep
Prince
saying
Charming.
my wedding? Hang on, you mean our wedding, not my wedding, our wedding. So, you know, when these guys, right, get to a point where they realise that this false hope has been pushed on them, that everything's going to be all right, when it isn't, right, and they don't know what's really going on, they get manipulated and used, then what they do is they freak out. They totally fucking freak out. Totally. And they don't know what to do. Seriously.
Right. And it's like they don't like to hear what I gotta say. I mean, a lot of them. I've tried to help my friend before he decided to get freaking dated up again. You know, but he let himself. I told him, like, you see now why I'm single, and he came up with an excuse saying, "Man, you've been holding out for I don't know what reason for a long time."
You see, the real hope, do you know what the real hope is that men should be looking at? Their own sovereignty and independence, being able to control what happens in a certain situation, so they can walk away if they want. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't have to get involved. There's no reason not to get involved. If you know the odds and you know it's stacked against you, well, why would you go into a fucking casino knowing that the odds are against you?
Oh, you just like they just like to give the casino their money.
Yeah.
Y'all don't mind them. They just like to give the casino their money.
Go in and dabble a little bit, but still get burnt.
Look, me, typically, when I walk into a casino, I fully expect that I'm going to lose money.
Yeah, it was just just an example. You know, the real hope is in MGTOW about and none. You know, all this about, you know, going working out on that as the other. Look, it's good that people do go and work out. Yeah, it's good for your heart, right? It's good and healthy, and that's if you're unfit. If you're already in trim, why is the need to be all like you have to do this, that, and the other? Why? Just think about things that you want to do, hobbies and stuff. You know what I mean? Go fishing. Fishing is good. Golf. Go and play.
Look,
it's relaxing. Golf.
I got a fishing pole in my truck. I got a fishing rod in my truck.
I went mountain fishing in Ecuador, up in mountains. That were awesome, man.
Oh man, shoot! There's a couple places in Florida that I like to go. You know, if I can find a lake nearby a truck stop, and I get some good and I get myself a new decent tackle box. Guess what I'm doing? I'm going fishing. I got me a fishing license, and I'm going fishing.
Well, in England, you have to have a license, right, to fish. But if you go at night, it's poaching, and it's kind of like exciting because all you see on the lake is this luminous bob going up and down. It's pitch black,
right?
I mean? And you're fishing in the dark.
Oh fuck! Oh shit! Give me 1 second. Oh, I think it's time for me to get some sleep. You know.
Yeah, no worries, man. All good.
Yeah, I don't want to end up. I don't want to end up on the down in the gully or something.
You see, this is what I'm saying about, right? Just the last thought before I go, man. This is what I'm saying about people need to start thinking things through properly, reasoning it out
Right.
and thinking it out. You know what I mean? Instead of just like, thinking that if one person says one thing, it's totally right. Look at their actions. Look if their actions are actually speaking what actually philosophy says. You know what I'm saying? People can make rules up and regulations about no cohabitation, no marriage, no children. But if they're really truly MGTOW, and MGTOW is meaning having nothing to do with society, ghosting everyone more or less, you know what I mean? Just speaking to the manosphere, not involving girls in any kind of way, not meeting up to try and prove a point because you wouldn't do with MGTOW because you know the risks. So there's been no point doing it. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
You still there?
Yeah. So
yeah, I kind of shut my phone screen on. I've kind of double tap my screen, but I catch it when I. But for me, it's like, well, I guess I can stay on a little bit longer. But for me, that's I mean, from what that last thought is like, that's like '90s behavior.
what?
You know, like trying to shack up with as many and try to prove that you were this by sleeping with as many people as you can.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I mean, why? Right. When you look at MGTOW, they talk about the risks, right? The risks. Now, why would you put yourself through a risk knowing full well that person could have filmed you, recorded you secretly, done anything to fit you up, and you could have been done the same to her just to prove a point? Well, why? When it's going to backfire on you? People know you're a MGTOW. There's no need to prove it. Just live it. Just live it. Easy.
And that's why I don't show my face. That's one of the reasons why I don't show my face. The other reason is for the fact that I'm still under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. You know?
Yeah.
Even though my command knows that I do make child content.
I got no qualms showing my face because everything. My son's old enough now; he's 18. You know what I mean? I'm not in a relationship. I'm more or less separated from society, so it don't really matter to me what people say to me. You know what I mean?
That right there is like, like I said, for me, it's like I'm also still under the code of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. You know, you know what that is? It's basically, pretty much what it is a freaking a bunch of articles that if somebody who's smart enough can see my face and they realize how to work it in their favor, it's my word against theirs. I'm at least with a background and no.
Well, this is why I put on my videos on the channel about being careful what you upload up to YouTube or to media. This is what I put on my video. It says, and it shows you the reasons why, because it's the AI. The AI is the main thing. When you put it upload it to AI, it's there for life. And the AI learns from it as well. So if AI can get smart, imagine when it gets downloaded into a fucking sex bot or a chip into your head that they want to do eventually, they could change the frequencies in your fucking brain, man, sending everyone crazy. You know what I mean?
I mean, they did an experiment with a mouse where said they checked they basically did something and it turned the mouse into a merciless killer.
Yeah, they put a chip somewhere on it. I can't remember where it was. It was somewhere on the brain they put it, and they sent.
I think it was on either the medulla oblongata or somewhere between there in the cerebral cortex.
Yeah, fucking mental, isn't it? So, and this is what I'm saying about chipping. People don't know that under Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, and Agenda 2050, which the United Nations are part of the WHO, which America's just told to fuck off in the last week, who separate themselves from the WHO, Trump has. And basically, their agenda is to chip everyone. and it'll go to a credit system. Everyone will use they'll scrub the world debt, and it'll go to one monetary system through credits. So that means $1 will be 1 credit, the same as £1 will be 1 credit. Everything will be equal. So therefore, if you owe $350 on your rent, it's 350 credits, right? But the backdraw of that is once they've chipped you in your hand, if you complain or you rise up against the government, they switch it off and there's no food. You can't even get food. Fuck all, nothing, absolutely nothing.
And that's why I'm getting stuff. And I know I'm not gonna survive this. No way in hell. That's why I'm getting.
You will. You don't like you prep and you make sure you get a crossbow and you get.
That's what I'm gonna. That's my next purchase.
America is different to England. We can't just carry weapons, right? In America,
that's my next purchase is a crossbow.
You just go and get yourself a camp bed or a tent or whatever.
I got one of those. We got 3 of those.
Get all your survival kit. Put your tins in there. Some survival packs in there. Your emergency kit, your compass, whatever you need, right? And you just put it in the corner, and when it comes to the fucking crunch, it's all set. All your water's in there and everything. I've just bought a stick, right, that you can stick in the river, and you can suck up through it, right, 1.5 liters, and it lasts for five years, man. That means you don't need to boil fucking water, only to cook meat. Just to the river, stick it in. It's
basically taking charcoal and riverbed sand and rocks. Basically, all it is like a charcoal filter.
Well, this is guaranteed for 5 years, but you can suck up to a time. It filters 1.5 liters at a time. You can drink. Yeah, and it lasts up to 5 years. It's costing me about £30 It's quite expensive. But that means all you need to do is cook the meat, and to digest the protein, it's just go to the river and just suck it up. You don't need hot water unless you need a bath.
Right. Well, I'm gonna shut this live stream down. I'm gonna get me some sleep because
no worries, man. It's been nice speaking to you. Hey, this is what it needs: mature people to speak. Because when I spoke to Dickhead Pinocchio, right, I didn't have conversations like this with him. It was like talking to a fucking child. Seriously.
That's why I try to keep my mind open on some things,
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been slowly building up over time my survival equipment. I've got a lot of I've got knives. I've got knife sharpeners, like the block sharpeners.
Yeah.
I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to find a hatchet. I think I found a hatchet at one point. Hatchet is one of the things I'm looking for.
Restore it? Is that to restore it or something?
No, it's basically a hatchet is an all-around tool.
No, I thought you meant you found an old hatchet, an old axe.
No, if I can find an old hatchet, that'd be great. But I'm gonna have to get a new hatchet.
Yeah.
And
zombie apocalypse, eat your heart out.
Right. I've got swords, but that are good, that I say are in good quality. And I also got knives that can be used for either survival.
Why do you think they were trying to get rid of your gun right amendments? Why do you think they were doing that? You know why they were doing it? Because of prepping. The United Nations are prepping through the Bilderberg Group. Look them up, Bilderberg Group. They're right, and what's illegal about them is the fact that all people from all countries, diplomats, world leaders, they're not supposed to meet up and discuss world politics, but they do secretly, right, for 4 hours, right?
And you know what? Let me break this to you. The same tactics that were used in Vietnam can be used the same way.
Mm-hmm.
The same tactics that were used in Vietnam can be used the same way internationally.
Yep.
What a lot of people don't understand. It's like, I mean, anybody my age, not a lot of people my age know what a punchy stick is or a punchy spike is. Not a lot of people my age understand what a tank trap or a tank or shark's teeth is or a tank pit is capable of doing. If the tank, if the pit is deep enough and wide enough.
Yep.
And not a lot of people know how to implement a lot of the things. Not a lot of people know anything about.
Do you know when you go into service? Do you know what a lot of people don't realize is the fact that they only award people mostly who's died in combat. They award them. It's very rare they award someone who's still alive, who's become a hero, right? That's very rare. It does happen, but it's very rare, right?
Very rarely. Like, the person would literally have to die.
I mean, it's the same with the Queen when she knights someone or gives someone an OBE, right? It's for fucking shit, ridiculous stuff like songs and stuff. You're thinking, hang on, what about the people who fucking work every day, put their lives at the risk down in the pits or, you know, this, that, and the other? The normal common people, they're the ones that keep the economy running. Not these people writing songs and getting knighthoods for it, like flaming, who's he called, Elton John. You know what I mean? Ridiculous shit.
Hey, it's crazy, I know. But we're going to have to wait until everything collapses. Let it all collapse.
Well, that's what clear. What's it called? Draining the swamp. That's what he's talking about. That's why That's why he's told the WHO to go and run and jump now, because the WHO developed all this pandemic. They're the ones that are behind it.
Right. It's like, I know. I'm basically researching hit and run tactics. As many hit and run tactics as I can, or many blacksmithing videos as I can.
Yeah.
And I want none of it, you know. I want absolutely none of it. And
what's that? None of what? Black what?
None of the freaking what's it? The intervention of the chip.
Oh right, yeah.
And it's like, the way I see it, the next I mean, the thing is like, if it's gonna happen, you know.
Do you know this thing about black men's lives matter, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not racist because I read Jehovah's Witness, right? I'm not racist at all, right?
I'm not a particular fan of it.
What does it matter if you're black, white, Chinese, Asian, whatever?
It doesn't.
Men are men. Men are men.
The thing, my thing is, nobody's lives matter.
No,
if you're not of the elite,
that some of them are separating themselves to Black MGTOW, you know, the Black Manosphere MGTOW. And I'm thinking, well, what does it really fucking matter? Men are fucking men.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna be a black. I may be a black man, but one thing, first things first, I'm a human being. I'm a human being.
You know what I said? Do you not know what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to get across is that what does it matter if you're black, white, Chinese, Asian, whatever? Is it not matter that it's men that matter? We're all supposed to be pulling together as a group, you know, as a whole, right? Not as a group, but as a whole through the philosophy. Black, white, China, it doesn't really matter what colour you are. That's the thing. Certain people in the MGTOW community are making big things out of it when it shouldn't be. It doesn't really matter. Women are making a big thing out of it as well. And I'm thinking, no, it doesn't matter. Look, you're a man. If you're black or white or Chinese, you're still a man. Man is a man, no matter what color you are. That's what matters.
But the thing is, a lot of people are still stuck in a certain thought process.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame. And I'm thinking, man, do you guys realize that it doesn't matter if you're black or white? You should be looking at the bigger picture. We're men. We're all being abused no matter what color we are. Even being white, I'm white, right? So I'm the scourge, right? I'm white, I'm the scourge. I'm a brainy, intelligent, half-decent looking guy. You know what I mean? Very educational. But I'm the scourge. I'm the scourge to feminism and all this.
Let me break this to you.
I don't care.
Your thought process is logical.
Yeah, I don't.
It's logical. My thought process is logical.
Yeah.
A lot of these people in these certain groups are still running on emotion.
They want to be accepted. That's all it boils down to. They want to be accepted. That's it.
It's all it is they're still running on emotion. I'm gonna step onto this live stream. I'm gonna step on a lot of toes, but it's what it is. but they are still running on emotion. Like it's what it is. It is like, and to be honest with you, the worst one, the worst one. Oh, sorry. The worst ones are the black manosphere.
Yeah, but don't forget, everyone's been rejected. Men and black men have been rejected by black women. White men have been rejected by white women. We're being objectified in other ways, regarding or you're a man, you shouldn't be doing this, you should be believing in this, that, and the other.
I've heard that before.
But
I've also had the correction people. So you're child.
Everyone's been rejected, haven't they? Everyone's rejected. So really, it's all about being acceptance, isn't it? In general.
That's all it is. It's like I don't look. That's the sole reason that I don't worry about my subscriber count. I don't worry about the like, the thumbs up, or the thumbs down. I don't worry about the views, and I'm not going to monetize my videos.
But guess what? The end of the question is, you shouldn't be bothered about whether you're being accepted or not. It's whether you're doing the right thing or not.
Right.
That's
it's whether you practice what you preach.
Yes, if you're doing the right thing or not, if you've been truthful to yourself, never mind trying to prove to other people you're MGTOW or not, I'm failing, right? Never mind that. It's whether you've been true to your fucking self, when you can really hold your head up high and say, yes, I am a true MGTOW with pride.
Like I said, I know I can. I mean, I don't go around public bragging about it. In fact, in most cases, a lot of people like a lot of people, I would be highly unassuming, unless they recognize my voice on the live stream from the videos, the live stream. I'm relatively an unassuming person, A lot of people would never assume that I was MGTOW.
Do you know what makes MGTOWs free from everybody else? That are getting
they don't care if they're accepted or not.
Yeah, exactly. They realize there's no importance to being accepted or not. It doesn't matter. That's not the question. The question is, are you actually being truthful to yourself? That's
to thine own self be honest.
Well, how can you further yourself if you don't get to know yourself? That's your point getting MGTOW, isn't it?
And I will admit, I've had along in my journey, I've had an existential crisis, a few of them,
So I have had a couple too, I understand.
And it's like, it may, like I said, and eventually I don't think I've had a midlife crisis yet, because
it's bullshit. Midlife crisis.
I don't even think I care enough to have one.
No, it's bullshit, man. The midlife crisis doesn't exist. It's bullshit. I'm 46 and I've not had a midlife crisis.
Right.
And I went through all the shit beforehand, 2 marriages and
for me,
10 relationships. And that was before we were 40s. And yeah,
when you say that I'm lucky, I dodged a lot of bullets.
Yeah.
Like literally. I could have been hooked up with this one chick that was already 5 months pregnant. As soon as I got out the Marine Corps, and I just basically said, and I thought about it, and basically I let her screw it up, and sure enough, she did. Another person I could have been hooked up with, but she screwed it up, and I just basically said, no, I'm not doing this one. I'm not going this way. I'm not going this route.
You see, this is where you've learned from the past experiences that this might go wrong. This is what I'm saying. A lot of guys think that the relationship's not going to go wrong, instead of always keeping in the back of your head that it always could go wrong. And that's what you did. You listened to the past experience and you're thinking, yeah, something might go wrong here in the future. So you're always being wary. This is what I'm saying. Certain people don't learn from the past mistakes. And that's what I'm saying about certain other MGTOWs. If the person's met last year, why didn't you learn from that point? You know what I mean?
It's like, and my other question is, if you've been divorced, why are you hooking me up and giving me advice on women?
Yeah, but don't forget, some of the responsibility lies with the guy whether to meet up with her. So don't forget, everyone's got free will. Right. So this is what I'm saying. When it comes to a scenario where a person's pretending to be MGTOW or goes meet someone, they've got to keep in mind that. They've got to keep that in mind. Right. Haven't they? At the end of the day, Because if they don't, then they're just kidding themselves. They're just kidding themselves.
And they're just basically bashing, and now they're bashing their head against the freaking steel plate.
Yeah, they're making a fool of themselves. Yeah, definitely making a fool of themselves. Definitely. Why would you do that? And that's what I'm saying, it's about being true to yourself. You can either make yourself look like a fucking knobhead by doing stupid things like that, or you can just do what you do and prove to people that you're a true mentor by not doing shit like that.
Yeah, I just learned a lesson. I learned a lesson today that was kind of taught yesterday to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because saying how you think differently when you get older. Now, in 10 years' time, when someone says to me, "Oh, in 10 years' time you'll think differently," I'll say, "No, think about when you were 20, and now think about what you do now." That's how to get them to think properly. Because there's no point criticizing, saying, "I'm older than you, so you'll think like me when I get older." No, you think about when you were 20, and now think about the way you are now. You think totally different.
Right, and it's like I began to think more and not go by instinct so much.
Don't believe everyone tells you either. That's one thing I learned very, very quickly. Always look what they do and what they say and see what you've learned, like, squares up or not. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I better get ready to get me some sleep.
Yeah, no worries, man. Oh, good. Hey, I've enjoyed this chat, man. I really have.
Hey, I did. I mean, it's kind of hard to hit the end button,
Yeah, no worries, man. It's all right. I'll be on again.
All right. Hey, cool. I do this at random, so.
Yeah, no worries. Well, tomorrow is going to be a live stream. If you want to come on, just come on my channel. The live stream will be on there. I'll still be on.
Are you in Tico's one of Tico's chat rooms?
Yeah, I was in Tico's the other day.
All right. Hey, I normally I am there sometimes,
Look, regarding me and Tico, man, I thought it was important that I give Tico an apology because that fucking Pinocchio dickhead I didn't realise, man. I fell for it like up Lion and Cinco because of him, dickhead. And I did truly try to help him. He's trying to make out that I fucking didn't. I said this, I know, when I didn't.
Hey, don't be mad. It's like, don't be mad. And like, I'm not worried about it. It happens. It is what it is.
Tico and just said, look, man, and it does sound to me there might be some kind of truth, maybe, to what Tico said regarding Pinocchio. Or well, punch and Judy punch.
Hey, it's what it is.
Yeah,
I gotta get some sleep before my 10 hours is up, because I don't want to end up waking up an hour or two late and be late for this load.
Yeah, no worries, man. You have a good one at work, yeah.
All right. Good night.
Have a good one, bro. Thanks for having me on. Catch you in a bit.
Hey, it's no problem. And direct to y'all in the chat, if you're still there, good night.
Night.